Okay, so we're going to continue with our session as we did start previously, topic number 1, patterns and sequences. We're having a worked example number 1. Consider the arithmetic sequence 2, 6, 10, 14. What is the common difference? That's the first question. State the value as the next 2 terms in the sequence. Determine a formula for the nth term of the sequence. Question number 4. Determine the value of the 25th term. Question number 5. Which term has the value of 46? Question number 6. Briefly explain why the value of n in the formula Tn is equal to a plus n minus 1 times d can only be an odd number. And finally, the last question, number 7, is 72 a term in the sequence? Justify your answer. So we will take the solution down here. Responding to the first question, what is the common difference? We know that d will be equal to t2 minus t1 is equal to t3 minus t2. t2 is 6. 6 minus 2 will be equal to 10 minus 6. And this is going to give us 4. So the common difference is 4. This is the answer for the first question. We're gonna clean the board. Yes, we have responded to the first question so that we can have the space for the second question. The second question, state the values of the next 2 terms in the sequence. Number 2, the value of the next 2 terms in the sequence. Two, we will consider here the last term is 14, so it's going to be 14 plus 4, we get 18 as the next term, and 18 plus 4, we're getting 22. These are the 2 next terms of our sequence. Going to question number 3, determine a formula for the nth term of the sequence. Remember, the general formula for Tn is a plus n minus 1 times d. Our first term a is 2. So we'll be having that Tn is equal to 2 plus n minus 1. And the common difference is 4. So calculating our Tn, here we will be having 2 plus 4n minus 4. This will be equal to 4n minus 2. This is our general term, and that's the answer for question 3. We're going to the next question. Question 4, determine the value of the 25th term. That is going to be term number 25. So T25 will be equal to 4 times 25 minus 2. It will be equal to 4 times 25 is 100. 100 minus 2. Then we're getting 98. This is term number 25. Question number 5. Which term has a value of 46? And if we want to get the answer for this question, It means we want to get the position of this number 46. So we'll be writing (4n minus 2) is equal to 46. This will imply that 4n will be equal to 46 plus 2, and 4n will be equal to 48, and n will be 48 divided by 4, then we get 12. So 46 is term number 12. We can write it here, T 12 is equal to 46. Question number 6. Briefly explain why the value of n in the formula Tm is equal to a plus n minus 1 times z can only be a whole number. So we have learned so far that n is indicating the position of any term. N can only be a positive whole number or a natural number. N cannot be equal to 0, n cannot be equal to a negative number or a fraction. So here, as they are saying, briefly explain why the value of n in the formula can only be a whole number. This is the reason practically n can only be a whole number, can't be equal to 0, not a negative number, either a fraction. Now we're going to take question number 7. We need some space here, so I'm going to clean the board at the top here. Question number 7. Is 72 a term in the sequence? Justify your answer. So we're going to find out if 72 is a term in the sequence. Remember, we found that the general term Tn was 4n minus 2. So we're going to replace Tn by 72. 72 will be equal to 4n minus 2, and the 4n will be equal to 72 plus 2. 4n will be equal to 74, and n will be equal to 74 over 4. We're going to divide by 2. Then we get 37 over 2. So we can see that 37 over 2 is not a whole number, is a fraction. So this is not a natural number. We will conclude that 72 is not a term in the sequence. 72 is not a term in the sequence. So we have practically covered this worked example number 1. We're going to consider worked example number 2. So we will clean the board practically so that we can have the questions for worked example number 2. We're taking worked example number 2 as we have finished worked example number 1. Consider the arithmetic sequence 3x minus 1, 5x minus 2, 4x plus 3. Determine the value of x. Question number 2, if x is equal to 2, determine the values of the first 3 terms in the sequence and then determine a formula for the nth term in the sequence. Question number 3, determine the value of the 15th term. And question number 4, which term is a value of 302? So we're gonna start with the solution. Question number 1, determine the value of x. Remember, to get the common difference, d is equal to t2 minus t1, and it's going to be equal to t3 minus t2. t2 is a 5x minus 2 minus 3x minus 1. This will be equal to t3, that is 4x plus 3 minus t2, 5x minus 2. As we are having the terms being expressed in terms of x, we must make sure you take the precaution of using the bracket so that to avoid mistakes, because remember, we're having a negative sign in front of the bracket. So we're going to remove the bracket in order for us to get the value of x. 5x minus 2 minus 3x plus 1 will be equal to 4x plus 3 minus 5x plus 2. 5x minus 3x, we get 2x minus 2 plus 1, then we're going to get minus 1, it will be equal to 4x minus 5x, we get minus x, plus 3 plus 2, then it's going to be plus 5. We're going to transpose negative x on the left hand side, so we'll be having 2x plus x, it will be equal to 5 plus 1, and 3x will be equal to 6. This will imply that x will be 6 divided by 3, and our x will be 2. So the value of x is 2. This is the first question. We're gonna clean here in order for us to have some space for the second question. Question number 2, if x is equal to 2, practically we got the value of x is equal to 2, determine the value of the first 3 terms. So we're going to replace x in these first 3 terms so that we'll be getting the values of the first 3 terms. Number 2, 3 times 2 minus 1, and the next one will be 5 times 2 minus 2. The third one will be 4 times 2 plus 3. So the first term will be 6 minus 1 is 5. And the second term will be 10 minus 2 is going to be 8. And the third term will be 8 plus 3. That is going to be 11. So the first 3 terms are 5, 8, 11. And then determine a formula for the nth term in the sequence. The nth term, we know the formula for the nth term. I'm going to clean this so that we're going to have space for this second question. We want to determine a formula for the nth term, meaning the last term of this sequence. Question. So here, we are still under question number 2. We know that the first 3 terms is 5, 8, and 11. And if we want to write the general formula, we will need the common difference. Common difference is going to be 8 minus 5 it will be equal to 11 minus 8, and that this will imply that our common difference is 3. Then our general formula, Tn will be equal to A plus n minus 1 times D. We're going to replace A by 5 because 5 is the value of the first term, 5 plus n minus 1, and our common difference is 3. Tn will be equal to 5 plus 3n minus 3, and we will get 3n plus 2 because 5 minus 3 we get 2. This is our general term. Going to the next question, number 3, determine the value of the 15th term. Now we're going to get term number 15, T15. T15 will be equal to 3 times 15 plus 2. It will be 45 plus 2, and our T15 will be equal to 47. 47 is term number 15. That was the answer for question number 3. Now we're going to the last question, practically for this second worked example. Which term has a value of 302? So I think we need some space here. We're going to clean the board down here. Question number 4. Which term is the value of 302? Then we're going to have our general term is 3n plus 2. 3n plus 2 will be equal to 302. 3n will be equal to 302 minus 2. 3n will be equal to 300. And n will be 300 divided by 3, we get 100. So 302 is term number 100. So 300 will be equal to 302. Then we're done with worked example number 2. So these are worked examples which are going to help you to understand that when you are having the general term, Tn is equal to A plus n minus 1 times D. A, the value of the first term. D is the constant of the common difference. And n is the position of any term. So we're going to take now the first exercise. These were worked examples.